Modern life exposes us to an unprecedented variety of biological stressors. Vaccines, medications, processed foods, environmental toxins, and increasingly electromagnetic fields or EMFs. While each of these elements has been studied in isolation, rarely is the interaction between them examined in depth. Yet all of these exposures have one thing in common. They affect our body's bioelectric state, the delicate system of electrical signaling that governs cellular function, development, and repair. This blog explores the concept of bioelectric dissonance, a state in which environmental stressors disrupt our body's natural signaling pathways, leading to chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and potential neurodevelopmental consequences. Importantly, we argue that EMFs act as an amplifier of biological chaos, exacerbating the effects of vaccines, toxins, medications, and dietary stressors in ways that deserve urgent scientific investigation. Most people think of biological function in purely chemical terms: hormones, neurotransmitters, enzymes. But beneath the biochemistry, cells communicate via electric fields and voltage gradients. This bioelectric network governs everything from wound healing to embryonic development and is crucial for maintaining homeostasis. Any external substance that enters the body, whether injected like vaccines or medications, ingested such as food, nutrients, or toxins, or absorbed like pollutants and EMFs, will influence this bioelectric network. When multiple stressors combine, they can create a bioelectric overload, disrupting the body's ability to maintain stability and repair itself. While the body can often recover from singular stressors, the chronic cumulative nature of EMF exposure makes it uniquely dangerous. Unlike a one-time chemical exposure that the body can detoxify over time, EMFs are an ever-present background interference, constantly bombarding cellular systems. EMFs trigger excess calcium influx into cells through voltage-gated calcium channel activation, leading to oxidative stress and neurotransmitter disruption. This contributes to chronic inflammation and DNA damage due to the overproduction of reactive oxygen species. EMFs also interfere with normal bioelectric signaling, prolonging recovery from other biological stressors. These mechanisms help explain why EMFs don't just pose a standalone risk, but also worsen the effects of other stressors, making biological recovery slower and less efficient. How EMFs amplify other stressors. The problem isn't just EMFs, it's how they interact with everything else. The body might be able to handle a single toxin, a vaccine, or a dietary imbalance, but under constant EMF exposure, these stressors may have a more prolonged and unpredictable impact. Vaccines and medications. Vaccines induce an immune response, which includes temporary inflammation and oxidative stress. In a low EMF environment, the body may quickly regulate this response and return to equilibrium. But in a high EMF environment, the immune system remains in a state of prolonged activation, increasing the risk of adverse inflammatory reactions. Studies have shown that chronic EMF exposure weakens immune function and alters gene expression related to inflammation and cellular repair. Could this explain why some individuals experience longer-lasting or more severe reactions to vaccines and medications beyond a genetic predisposition? Food, nutrition, and digestive health. The gut microbiome plays a critical role in immune regulation, mental health, and metabolic balance. Emerging research suggests that EMFs disrupt gut flora, leading to conditions such as food sensitivities and chronic inflammation. Even nutrient absorption may be affected, as bioelectric signals help guide ion transport and cellular uptake of key vitamins and minerals. Neurological and developmental disorders, such as autism and ADHD, go beyond what we commonly understand. The Yale ADHD study showed that prenatal exposure to cell phone radiation resulted in hyperactivity and memory deficits in mice. Dr. Martin Paul's research on VGCC activation suggests that EMFs may exacerbate autism risk by interfering with early brain development. If the nervous system is already in a heightened state of bioelectric stress, additional environmental factors like vaccines, food chemicals, and air pollution may push the system into neurological dysregulation. The government knew and did nothing. The regulatory cover-up. For nearly 30 years, the FCC has ignored overwhelming evidence that non-thermal EMR exposure is biologically disruptive. Despite thousands of studies showing DNA damage, oxidative stress, and increased cancer risks, the government rigged regulations to silence opposition. Section 704 of the 1996 Telecommunications Act made it illegal for communities to block cell towers based on health concerns. The National Toxicology Program's $30 million study confirmed clear evidence of cancer. But instead of updating safety standards, the government defunded the research. The EPA's warnings that FCC limits didn't protect against chronic exposure were ignored, and independent studies were systematically suppressed. Now, Trump's Make America Healthy Again Commission has broken the silence, acknowledging EMFs as a likely contributor to skyrocketing autism, ADHD, infertility, autoimmune diseases, and neurodegenerative disorders. This is a turning point, but acknowledgement is not enough. Moving forward, repeal Section 704, enforce Public Law 90/602. While the research community plays catch-up, individuals must demand urgent legal reforms. Repeal Section 704, restore local control, and allow communities to protect themselves from high-powered radiation near schools, homes, and workplaces. Enforce Public Law 90/602. This 1968 law mandates continuous radiation research, but it has been ignored for decades. It's time to fund independent studies and hold the FCC accountable. Mandate safer technology. Implement Li-Fi for indoor networks and space-based broadband to eliminate unnecessary microwave radiation. The urgent need for a new scientific model. EMFs are not the sole cause of modern health crises, but they act as an amplifier, exacerbating other environmental stressors in ways that mainstream science has failed to acknowledge. We must update outdated safety standards, encourage holistic research, and empower individuals with knowledge to protect themselves and future generations. The science is there, the evidence is mounting. Repeal Section 704, enforce Public Law 90/602. The time to act is now. Visit RF Safe to learn more.